One thing we try to do with the city is to help you make it very easy to connect newcomers in the church to the church. We do that through a couple of different means, one of which is the kiosk. This page that you see here is a welcome kiosk. If you have the ability to have a kiosk in your lobby, new folks would be able to simply enter their email address, and you can now reach out to them through the city and help them connect. We also do a mobile kiosk, which means on my mobile phone, if I have web access, I can pull up a kiosk and invite a friend of mine to join the city right there on my phone. We can also invite people in via email. So if you have an email address for somebody, or maybe you have an email address list, you can email people out and invite them to join the city that way too. Now, what happens when an individual receives an invitation is they are placed in what we call a connect group. Now, I'm going to open a connect group here. This connect group is not visible to that new person. This is a page that individuals who are either on staff at the church or maybe they're volunteers, if you have people that are committed to reaching out to newcomers, for instance, in this case, I'm a volunteer, I'm passionate about my church, and I want to help new people connect to my church, you can assign individuals to me that I will follow up with. So you can see here where it says your assigned participants. Ginger and Betty and Denny, they've all been assigned to me, and I've been asked to follow up with them and figure out how we're going to get them connected to the church. Now, the great thing is if you have a pastor Assimilation or a director of outreach or somebody like that, they can come in and see how we're doing in following up with these individuals. So you can see, well, we have 3 people who are new, and we've got 8 that are initially contacted and 4 that are visiting a group. We have 4 over here that have been followed up with. If you had this bar really, really high and everybody was new and no one had been contacted, then your pastor of Assimilation or your director of outreach would know we need to do a better job of reaching out and connecting with folks. You can also look individually and see what stage is someone in. You can see here that Ginger is new, and Ginger's been new for about a month. That's probably too long for her to be new without anybody contacting her. So again, that pastor could say to me, hey, why is it taking you so long to follow up with Ginger? Now, the way I follow up with these individuals and contact them is through email, and we call that a conversation here in the city. And if I click on conversation under Denny, it will show me the history of the conversation that we've had. So not only can I see the emails that have gone back and forth between Denny and I, but that, again, that pastor of outreach would be able to come in and look at the history of the conversation as well. Now, rather than having to read the email that goes back and forth every time to find out what's going on with Denny, I can also take that information and put it into notes. Now, I would not put in information here that is too sensitive because other Connect Group agents would be able to see this information. So I wouldn't put anything that's too deep and information about hard things going on in his family or anything. But right here you can see I wrote that Denny is new to the area and he wants to find a community group near his home. That is appropriate information for me to put. Now, if I want to help Denny find a small group because he's, the notes here say that's what we're trying to do, I simply click on Find a Small Group and it will bring up a map that shows me where Denny lives, and I can zoom in on that map, and not only does it show me where Denny lives, but it shows me the community groups that are around his home. Now you can see down here that the red groups are full and the green groups have space available, and if I click on a group, it will tell me some details about that group. The Midtown Community Group is for singles and they're college aged, and they do a meal together on Tuesday evenings. Now, if I scroll down a little bit further on the page, I can see different tags and days and times and information about campus. So if you have a lot of community groups or small groups in a specific area and you don't want to have to wade through and click on every single one of them to find the right one, I can see here simply by the number in the parentheses of how many groups there are. If I was looking for a group that only met on Tuesday nights, I could see that there's only 2 of them. And then I would be able to it would be able to show the updated map with only 2 places there. But if I think this is a good group for Denny to connect with, Jude is the community group leader. Denny's the person I want to connect him to. I click on this Connect Jude and Denny link, and it begins a 3-way conversation where I can now introduce Denny, who's this new person that I've gotten to know through an email conversation, with Jude, who's the community group leader, and say, hey, Jude and Denny, you guys should meet. And then there's that warm handoff where I'm still connected with Denny. I'm going to follow up with him later, make sure this was a good group for him, but I'm introducing him to a mutual friend who's going to be able to invite him into their community group for the first time. So great way to reach out to newcomers, folks who are looking at the church for the first time. They're trying to figure out how do they want to connect. You can help them connect through the Connect group to small groups. Maybe they're looking to connect to a service group. Maybe they're looking for information on joining the church. You can have all sorts of different Connect groups and really take someone by the hand and walk them through those first, oftentimes scary steps of reaching out to join or connect to a church.